Hi everyone, I hope you guys are having a great week. This is my lesson plan template video for the discussion post this week. So to start off with, I actually have never seen a formal written lesson plan, but I have been in multiple classrooms where we've been implementing those lesson plans. So I don't have much to compare in terms of like written lesson plans to the template that we received, but it does differ a little bit from what I've experienced in the classrooms that I work with. I have worked and do work in special education, and so the classrooms that I have the most experience in are broken down into small groups because we are teaching multiple grade levels at a time. So there isn't really a whole lot of whole class instruction. So the lesson plans would be for each individual group that we were working with, and then it would differ from group to group and grade level to grade level. The main difference that I saw in the lesson plan template that we received and the ones that I've implemented is the suggested time frame. Because I do work in special education, we were working with the younger kids. We would try to do those breakout groups in 10 to 15 minute increments, just because we do know that they might have more of a limited range of focus and attention, a smaller, shorter attention span. So we would do 15 or 10 to 15 minutes and then give them a break. So in order to go over a complete lesson, it might take us a couple of days to get for each grade to go through one lesson. Other than that, in terms of like kind of taking into account what you think the hurdles might be for the students, having a reflection of what's effective for the students, I am familiar with a lot of that. So the three elements that I think will be most challenging in the template. So under the section of diverse learners, where you basically are going to take into account for your students with disabilities, your students with the English learner students, I think that may be the most challenging, just because I do plan to work in special education. So when I do write my own lesson plans, I would have to be able to make each lesson plan flexible enough to adjust for each of the students and their specific needs. So I can definitely see the importance of taking those things into account, but it might be difficult to list all of those attributes and for all the different disabilities that my students may have. Another thing I might find difficult is predicting the misunderstandings that they might have, or the challenges that they're going to have with the lesson. I think some of that may come with just gaining more experience in the classroom. I can probably start to see common threads of what students might have trouble understanding as we go through the lessons. But I think that this is important to consider while writing the lesson plan, just to make sure that the language that we use is very clear for our students, especially the ones with disabilities that might have trouble understanding the lessons that we're teaching them. I find the pre and post lesson reflection to be probably the most interesting part of this lesson plan, just because having like an expectation of what you think the lesson plan and how it's going to go, it will almost never go the way that you want it to or the way that you plan it to. But having that post-lesson reflection is going to, I think, be really important to give us opportunities for growth, and then to see what really worked in our lesson plan and what did not work in our lesson plan, so we can adjust it for future lessons. They always say that no 2 days is the same in a classroom, that especially in a special education classroom, that you're going to walk into something completely different every day. So I think that section is going to be really essential, especially when working in a special education classroom, so you can grow from your own, not necessarily mistakes, but from things that don't work for your students. All in all, I found the template to be really comprehensive and really easy to follow. It's a little bit reassuring to see a template all laid out like that, just because it is kind of intimidating to start thinking about writing my own lesson plans and what might go into that. but to see everything laid out like that makes it a lot easier to kind of wrap my head around. So I found that extremely helpful. But I'm excited to see what you guys have to say. I'm excited to see you guys speak just because I know I've been reading your words, but it's a lot more personal to see people through video, I think. Yeah, and I hope you guys have a great day. All right.